Ladies and gentlemen, I think that RFK Jr., and this is just speculation, I do believe he would have accepted former President Trump's reported invitation to become vice president in 2024 had former President Trump addressed certain issues very important to RFK Jr. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. For example, RFK Jr.'s plan to fix plastics pollution. This is on his, I'm pretty sure it's his website, Kennedy24.com. Perhaps also addressing some issues pertaining to labor that might not be exactly what the GOP or the Republican Party, even Trump, would want to support. But I do think that it would be unbeatable. I think that Trump is unbeatable this year anyway. Hit subscribe to this channel and thank God, because this current administration is, along with George W. Bush, the worst presidency in our lifetime. Along with George W. Bush, by far. Trump was infinitely better. We had record low poverty with Trump, record highs in household median income. We had the Doha Agreement that brought Americans home from a never-ending counterinsurgency conflict that Biden completely botched. It was a May 1st, 2021 withdrawal. And this administration completely ignored that because they didn't want to remove Americans from never-ending military conflict. That was Trump. The menace, the authoritarian, the totalitarian, the despot, wanting to remove Americans. He signed prison reform legislation, the First Step Act. Oh, what a totalitarian despot. Signs prison reform legislation, presides over record low poverty, and brings Americans home from never-ending military conflict, and he's the first president to step foot in North Korea. To try to bring détente between North and South Korea. Hit subscribe to this channel to read my writing on The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. I love RFK Jr. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And I think that the people who call Trump or RFK Jr. harmful are themselves so ignorant and perhaps so naive that they ignore the failed policies that they pushed so vehemently to implement. This is pure speculation. So this is just, I'm dreaming here, and I'm just looking at two very great, admirable Americans. Okay? Wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats might say, Trump has been indicted. He's a criminal. Okay, he didn't have private servers with top secret intel for 4 years. Secret servers, okay? Trump doesn't have a laptop with incriminating evidence linked to possible bribery and graft schemes, okay? A whole bunch of other issues, too. He doesn't have a foundation where hundreds of millions of dollars go unaccounted for. After an earthquake in Haiti, for example. I mean, there's a whole bunch of questions, or I should say, serious criminal allegations against Hunter, Joe. Okay, Biden lied about major topics. They say that Trump lied through his teeth. Now, if you use the same standard that you judge Trump with his 10,000 lies, it would be 30,000 lies in less than 4 years with Biden. He knew about Hunter's businesses. We can go on forever. The point is this. I do think that had former President Trump, who is the best president in my lifetime for a number of reasons, record low poverty is one of them. Record highs in household median income. There is no rebuttal. You see, like, million subs. Look, I'm growing the channel slowly but surely. We'll get to 300,000 plus subs, hopefully within the next year and a half. I think this year we'll get to 300,000 subs. I believe that. Just because I have such an amazing base of viewers. I thank God I have viewers throughout the world and in the United States of America. I'm just so happy. In Australia, I have viewers. I'm so happy and honored and grateful. Anyway, we had record low poverty with Trump, record highs in household median income. We had unemployment at record lows with inflation that was far less than 3%. Interest rates were what? A lot less than they are now, less than 2% or 1%. And you have no 3%, and you now interest rates are 7 to 8 for a mortgage. So you had a much better America. Plus, we didn't have an invasion in Europe, which we have under Biden. We didn't have all of these problems throughout the world. We had problems, of course, throughout the world with Trump. Not complete chaos. The point, though, is that I think that they were somewhat close. I think that RFK Jr. and Trump, and I think the importance of this segment is that what if Trump had reached out and said, look, what if former President Trump had reached out and said, look, you know what? We're going to address this. It's very important to you. Might not be important to former President Trump, but it's important to RFK Jr. and to the world. We're going to address this just to make it, just to give him more incentive to become vice president. Strong labor. This might have been an issue because President Trump is a Republican, so the GOP might not have adopted a lot of the stances on labor or unions that are important to RFK Jr., but I think some kind of deal would have been worked out. I do think it would have been fantastic had they joined together, because there is some concern I have. RFK Jr. might take votes away from Trump, and that would be very bad in my view. 8 years of mashed potato brains, and I think Hillary Clinton will be opposite Trump. So you could have a Clinton presidency. There is a possible scenario where RFK Jr., and I love him, and I'd still love him, even if the Clinton wins because there's a third candidate taking votes away from Trump. That would hurt, and I don't think that would be good for the country. I think we need Trump. I think that's a possibility. I didn't say it would happen. I think that even with RFK Jr. running, Trump wins. It's a possibility. There's a possibility that RFK Jr. takes it away from Trump. A possibility. And I like I said, I'm partisan. Obviously, I want Trump. But I also respect greatly his father and him, and JFK. You look at the Cuban Missile Crisis, and JFK was told to begin an assault on Cuba. And it was the president at that point, JFK, President Kennedy, who stated, no, I'm not going to do that. The experts told him to invade Cuba. He said, no, the Bay of Pigs was the first wake-up call. But we could have had World War III, and we might not have had a planet. And had we had Biden there, it wouldn't have worked out well. He would have listened to the experts, and the experts are usually, in this type of scenario, always wrong. Almost, I should say, almost always wrong. But anyway, Trump is very much like JFK in that he's not just going to kowtow to intelligence agencies. A Democrat or a Liz Cheney or a Nikki Haley or a never Trump Republican would either immediately give up any logic and reason and rational thought and succumb to any intelligence report, or manipulate the situation and use intelligence like George W. Bush did for a course of action that was already predetermined in many ways. Anyway, had President Trump really wanted RFK Jr., I think it could have taken place. There could have been some kind of deal. And I think that, had Trump said, look, the plastics and labor rights and certain environmental issues and a whole bunch of other things, I'm not really that interested in, but I want you as vice president. And it would have been Trump RFK Jr. That would have been amazing. Don't know if the Republican Party would have accepted it, but then again, the Republican Party is Trump. There is no Republican Party. Without Trump, there's really no Republican Party. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Just thinking out loud. Okay, I know that people are going to say, oh my God. Just thinking out loud. Hit subscribe. I love you. Thank you so very, very much.